Right, hello, I'm Rich Johnson from Bleeding Cool.
Hi, I'm Patrick Dane, also from that website.
There you go. I like that. Like, we're not repeating things.
No,
That's very
exactly.
nice. But we've just been to see Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. And you find us, bizarrely, also in London, but just by the Harry Potter Cursed Child thing, as you can see. Honestly, that is where we are. And all that, but we thought it'd be a nice place just to stop and have a little chat about the film we've just seen.
Yeah.
So, Fantastic Beasts and where to find them goes back
It
into the history.
Quite far back, like 80 years, more than that, maybe.
Yeah, well, this is trying to 100 years. We're looking at really a little bit less. But we can see a little bit more of the world. I mean, this is. I mean, you've read the books. You've read the books?
Yeah, or large parts of them.
I've read the books. And we've seen the films.
Yes, I have seen all.
So
the
this
films.
is very much about expanding that world.
Yeah, it
in a
is.
huge fashion. I thought. I mean,
Yeah.
this was insane in its.
Well, it's like also it has the advantage of obviously it's not based on something that's come out from the series before, so
No,
like
that's true.
like all of this is new material completely. Like no one knows what to expect from this.
But so what did you get? I mean, what were you expecting, and what did you get?
I was expecting I was expecting something on the friendlier side, like say a family movie almost, or with
This
light,
was harsh, wasn't it? Yeah.
with some light bits of terror, like it always kind of, or
Yeah.
especially like in the early movies, like Philosopher's Stone, like there was threat there, but it was kind of like playful in a way. This isn't that.
No, this is definitely
It's not
strong.
that.
This is child beating with belts, and
it's a
and
nasty
you see
movie
your people
sometimes.
dying, and you see
Yeah.
the welts, and you see the actual actions. This is proper harsh. This is a harsh.
It
film.
really did strike me as that, like, because there were lots of kids in the audience, and like, I just had that thing when something nasty was happening on screen. I'm like, there's like kids right
Yeah, you see, I have to say, I think my kids could take that.
Yeah, sure.
But,
I don't think
they've seen Doctor Who. It's gone in that.
I think it's there. I think it is maybe
Yeah.
like a ring above that, but I think
Okay.
also for adults. I think like the striking stuff is like the content of it, right? Like,
I mean, it is also funny. Let's be fair. I mean,
No,
they're
no,
not,
no,
it's not
this isn't
some
like everything.
misery fest.
I think that's why I think the movie for me, like, I think it's very weird. Like it is
Yes.
a very weird movie because
I
like
don't- I don't see that's a
you
problem.
totally do have all that family stuff that I was expecting. Like it's
I
Fantastic
mean,
Beasts.
you're getting things like things like the use of magic. It's more like bedknobs and broomsticks at
Yeah,
one
yeah,
point.
totally,
where it's got, all the different objects flying around the house, and they're making dinner,
Totally,
and they're
like-
preparing the beds. And
It has all that, like,
floating, and
it definitely-
bibbidi bobbidi boo. You know.
It definitely embellishes like Fantastic Beasts. Like that is
Yes.
a big part of the movie. Is like these incredible creatures.
We're getting to see kind of like proper like magical safari kind of stuff.
Yeah,
We're getting to see
basically.
all the vistas just filled with these much stranger creatures. than we used to.
and then it very sharply will turn into like a very dark alley at some point. You're like,
And
okay.
suddenly
there's
it's planned murder.
there's like
plots. And it's
there's like this
nastiness.
whiplash in the movie. I find it like I just come out of it and I'm like, it's very weird.
Yes.
It's a very weird movie, but I think for me at least the ending is incredibly strong. Like that's really
Yeah.
what, like put
Yes.
the bow on it for me.
Okay,
Because I was like,
See, I was all lost in the I was loving the details. I'm not.
Sure.
I wasn't so much. I guess I wasn't as much plot obsessed. I was just loving all the stuff that they were just showing
yeah,
around it.
absolutely. Like I think the like halfway through, I think I was kind of like, I'm not 100% sure I'm enjoying this.
Really?
But then by the end of it, like I think because for me, like that character work that they did do,
Yes.
like especially with one character in particular, which you can't really go into because of spoilers.
Spoilers.
But, like,
okay, but there is some stunt casting that I would put up there with say like
That actually wasn't
something like
talking
Sleepy
about.
Hollow.
Yeah,
Kind of
I
stuff.
was
That
actually
kind of-
wasn't
that kind of
talking
thing. Okay,
about
we're
that
talking-
one, but I wasn't. I was talking about another character specifically who is in earlier parts of the movie who. Again, I can't really talk about, but I thought
You can't.
I thought that character was incredibly strong. Like,
Okay.
and I think the performance around that character is very, very strong as well. Again, like it's annoying because I can't really say who he is because like
Okay.
that kind of lets go. What's happening?
Can we at least talk about a great joy to see some a bit more diverse representation on this screen? To have the lead fat white man who's
Yeah.
not just the comedy sidekick.
No,
he's
he's
actually
not,
got a
like-
bit of proper pathos and agency, as
Again,
they say.
I think the character work.
Swear.
I think the character that they work that they did there, it like also had a really good payoff like towards the end and stuff. Like I think that, like I said, for me, I was just thinking like this is an incredibly weird movie, like really bizarre, and then it did all just come together to be like a really strong cohesive package at the end.
Yes.
And
yeah.
I think the character you're talking about as well, like it's also a really strong character. Like there's all I think. That is like the best stuff.
Listen, I have to say, again, it's much more the details for me. So it's things like the speakeasies. We talk about the elves involved in the organised crime. of the magical world
Yeah.
of the 1920s. I was totally taken.
That's
with
interesting.
that
You come
kind
at
of
this a completely different place. You're way,
Yeah, okay.
way into like the environment stuff, and I'm way into.
You
like,
see,
what the
we are
character
different. See, I'm just nerding about all the details. So that's the kind of stuff that I was kind of delving into. That for me, it's a film about the details. And yes, I enjoy the comic stuff, but for me, it's also fleshing it out, having all these characters,
Yeah.
taking certain roles, also taking on like 1920s America, New York specifically,
Yeah.
take on these people who have these kind of roles.
think
the
so,
organised crime there is actually being run by the households, who we presumed until now were the docile servants. kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
totally.
So there's also, and also you involved with the jazz scene there as well.
I think that
is it
scene
weird
was
to
really
see like elves almost being a stand-in role for black people in America? Because there's a lot of that.
question.
I'm looking at the bellhops. I'm talking about the shoe shiners. I'm talking about the singers in the club.
mean,
there's stuff like that going on.
elves being-
because there are hardly any black people in this film. And for 1920s America, that's
the,
the thing.
the president.
Yes, you okay. Oh, that's another thing. A female president. I mean, my God, that's
But I mean-
such a fantasy. That'll never happen.
But
I have to say that's an aspect of the film which has struck very differently if the election had gone slightly different.
I think there's a lot of stuff in that movie that would have struck very differently if the election had gone, because there is some political human stuff going on in there as well,
Yes.
which is a lot about like.
I mean, there's also the kind of the Citizen Kane thing going on there. The idea of the media mogul
Yeah,
and the
totally.
political power there, kind of stuff. So they're
Yeah.
doing all that kind of stuff in.
And I mean, going back to the elves thing, I think elves kind of are like tropes.
I
I
think
think
was Citizen Kane. I mean, there's some of that imagery, the posters and stuff. That
Oh yeah,
was-
no, like it,
yeah.
it's obviously very clear, like you know, inspiration for this movie. Like it takes
Yeah.
a lot. From it.
There's basically they are filling it with a lot of stuff. This is very much like a 1920s America of the imagination. It's the 1920s America from the films that have been like
Yeah.
through this kind of filter. Just not
Totally.
in any way trying to be
I do
realistic.
I think it
I don't
does
think.
completely have like a different tone to it. Like I just
Yeah.
think it does feel completely different from like Harry Potter. Like it's not like I don't know, the whimsy. Actually, there's a lot of whimsy. It's just like there's a lot of whimsy, a lot of danger, and I think that it feels completely different, partially because of the setting, but also partially because of again the character work.
Yeah.
And I think like Eddie Redmayne's he's
Yeah.
a very weird
Well,
character.
Is it just me, or is he playing Matt Smith, playing the Doctor? There's an awful lot of that stuff going on there.
There is.
There is the flourishes, the kind of stuff. That's
Like
what
I'm
getting
actually
from it.
like genuinely interested, like not as a obviously not as a joke, but like genuinely interested to see like was there like a bit of, because he has like autistic tendencies, like he can't look people in the eyes and
That's
stuff.
true.
He always like
Yes.
he's like, and he's a weird character to like pin like your franchise on. He's very
Yes, but again, will that be what the
Yeah,
will be
it totally
pinned
could
on?
be- it
The
could
nice
be-
thing about this film,
Issues could not be changed.
not at the moment, but catch me in 5 minutes, okay? Thank you. One of the things is they are actually the thing is this film could go anywhere. We've been introduced to characters. There's there's romantic subplots. There's things that can go in different directions.
Totally.
But the next film could have none of them in it, or
Yeah,
maybe
totally.
just
It
a
is
side role. It's almost got that kind of like Narnia feel.
It could
They could be back.
like
It could be a totally different cast.
It is like a complete story, sort of. There is like a lingering like
Yeah, yeah.
this might happen in the future,
But
but, there
if-
is like
but-
it is like these
yeah.
characters. This is a story.
And there's not a thing that says that in the sequel this will happen.
Yeah.
These people will be back. You might catch them in a glimpse, but basically the next film could have a completely different set of characters and be set in the 1930s
And,
or
it
the
is
40s.
it is well
Well, okay, there's one character who we know will be back.
Well, yeah, totally. But there is actually like the whole series of 5 movies are set to span over like 40 years.
Yeah.
Or sorry, like somewhere around that. And like in different places in the world, so it absolutely could like just be like we're gonna. I don't think it will. I think
No.
Eddie Redmayne's gonna be back. But it
okay.
does. The feel of it is something that it could be that, and it is condensed. So like that is nice to not be like going on and be like, woo, we got like 4 more of these to go, which would have been like.
I'm looking forward because it's because you can go forward in time, and they probably will do.
Yeah.
There's many more decades to explore, and so that feels much richer
Yeah,
in that
totally.
respect. So I'm kind of really looking forward to
It's
that
very
kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Like I said, I really liked it, especially like the ending and stuff, and like the payoffs and that come in that. There is, like I say, there is some stuff I found weird, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a very bizarre movie,
I mean, the thing is, it's-
tonally and like editing wise.
Again, I'm going back to it. I think Harry Potter itself is a very bizarre concept
Totally,
to have succeeded
totally.
so well anyway. I just see this as just J.K. just doing more of that kind of stuff.
Sure. I mean, for me, I think I don't have like a great sense of what the identity of this is, which I think will come with extra movies, just because, like I say, we are supposed to be jumping forward a bit in time, so it won't just be like, oh, New York 1920s, which would be something to grasp onto. Like, so I don't think it has found its identity yet, but at the same time, it is like the first movie in the series. It doesn't have to get there right now. And there's a lot of really, really great work in it. And it, like
What were your
peaks are
favourite
great.
beasts? What were your favourite? I want to talk about that kind of stuff. You've seen the Fantastic Beasts.
I really,
Where
even though,
to find
I
them.
think it's very threatening, I think the big bad beast in it is.
Oh, yes.
I think that's
absolutely.
a really really cool creation.
Yes.
And I also think that the what else? Obviously the mole who steals money is great.
Well, he's a more platypus.
He's the moley
platypus.
platypus.
Okay, kind of stuff. Yeah.
I think he's fun.
Can I go with one of my favourite scenes as
for it.
being?
As long as it's not too
Can it be?
spoilery.
No. Can you say the mating dance?
Oh, sure.
And Eddie Redmayne's rolling that, and
I think,
everyone else.
yeah, I think that's
the
around
mating
the
dance
time
is
when
probably
it
one of my
started to
favourite
click
bits.
for me.
Okay.
Totally, yeah.
Okay. Because like I said, he's hunting. He's tracking down the truth stuff. He's going for this stuff, and that includes the beast. And I thought his relationship with them, I thought was adorable. I
yeah,
really
totally.
enjoyed that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like there is a real animal activist through
Yes.
it. And it doesn't feel like super laid on, but it's
No,
definitely
well, it was very much. It felt like, well, that was him.
Yeah,
this is
it's
totally
part of his
consistent
character.
with who he is. He's going to feel this way, and maybe he might be able to convince other people to feel that way.
but it's not like
not that likely.
It's not. But it also doesn't feel like Peter fucking rapping you over the head.
No.
You know.
Can we also talk about the use of witchcraft and the idea of, like, especially in America, the references to the Salem witch trials,
Yes.
and how that also ties in with that very much idea about, like, finding someone to blame,
All that
finding someone to blame.
stuff is
Also,
very
there's all that.
unnerving,
So
actually.
it does play into the whole, like, anti-communist kind of stuff. When you do the witch hunting trials, and you're actually kind of doing it there, you do get the references, the feeling of this is what would happen, but not with magicians, but with
Yeah, it's
communists.
obviously like completely different history and time when that stuff was happening. But like to bring that element in again, like I think that does come down to like those really heavy themes.
And it also brings in the politics. That's the
Yeah,
other thing. So
absolutely.
you're now seeing the politicians who first dismissed
Totally.
this, and then now see this as an actual issue. So it's,
I dig it. I think that. Like, I
it's
found
the
that
stuff that I like.
I found that stuff quite unnerving, genuinely.
He's actually a nerd. I
I'm
mean,
scared.
there you go. So scary films.
It's got scary parts in it. But yeah, no, like I like it genuinely.
Yeah. So I've got to say, I'm recommending this. Yeah. We have. We're in London. Things happen, but I am actually recommending this. I feel
Totally. Definitely go see it.
It's a wide film. There's lots of stuff for lots of people to like. I would say you're right. There is some weird stuff. I don't see that as a bad thing. I think.
I don't think that's a bad thing, or like I just think it's bizarre, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean like in a interesting way, like a raised eyebrow, like, okay, that's where they're going.
I like the stuff that was a bit more chewy, a bit meaty,
Yeah,
and
totally.
stuff. But then I also like I understand. But I also like all the other aspects to it as well. I mean, in one of those films, I thought I'm really going to like this, and I like this far more than I was expecting to.
Yeah.
Because I've liked Potter stuff, I've enjoyed the books, I've enjoyed the films, but it's not something that I've like devoted my life to. But this, I really want more, and I would like the next one now, please.
No, the Cursed Child.
No, well, okay, we are actually, as I said, we are standing beneath the cursed child, as you see. So yeah, so anyway, I'm kind of like, I would like to see more of this film.
I would like to see more of it,
I like the next
definitely.
one.
I'm definitely interested.
Expand. This is the kind of thing we want to see more of. And basically, I'd actually say congratulations, because this so could easily have been a little money-spinning spin-off. Let's stretch this franchise out until it
definitely
breaks and snaps, and we've seen that many times.
Absolutely, like it could.
This
It
was not
definitely
that.
could have been that. Like, and that's what I mean. Like, by it is interesting and bizarre because it is going somewhere. Like, it definitely has something in mind.
Which we have no idea what that is.
No, we don't. And like you say, totally, it's weird. Like they could have just gone back to that family-friendly thing, but it didn't, and it tried things. And like that's what I'm like. That's what I find. Again, that's the weird stuff, but there's also the stuff that makes it stand out as like an interesting movie.
Are you going to buy any of the toys? They've got to be toys.
There'll be tons of toys. Of course, there are. That's why. That's the only reason movies get made.
I kind of want to. So we'll be doing that. Anyway, so actually we have here, I'm not saying it doesn't happen often, we have an actual proper, fully blown agreement, I think.
Oh yeah, totally.
Fantastic Beasts, where to find them? Find it at a cinema near you. Was that smooth enough?
Yeah, I guess so.
That was
It's on
smooth.
Friday,
Right.
so.
Okay, there you go. See you guys later. Cheers.
See ya.
Just so we are. It's nothing to do with this, as far as we can tell. No, nothing. Cheers.